Hello everyone, we are Macarena and Agustina, and in this video we're going to make a comparison and contrast of one of the basic sentence pattern in both English and Spanish, the complement assertion pattern.
In contrast to what we had developed in a previous analysis of basic sentence patterns, we are now taking other matters into consideration. We are going to describe this pattern from the perspective of contrastive analysis, a branch of linguistics that is concerned with the comparison and contrast between two language systems, in this case, English and Spanish.
Concerning this pattern, the complement assertion pattern, we have three main constituents within its structure. There is the subject, that is followed by the verb, and finally the complement. We need to bear in mind that there might be some variations regarding these constituents, mostly when we add a direct object immediately after the verb, in the case of having a transitive verb that, as we know, require this kind of object. In that case, the structure could be subject, verb, direct object, and complement.
Let's look at some examples. Here we have three different sentences which include only a complement immediately after the verb. The verbs of each sentence are written in bold, and if we pay specific attention to them, we can see that they are mostly linking and sense verbs. These kinds of verbs require a complement to fulfill their meaning in the sentence, and these complements could be either a noun phrase or an adjective that identifies, describes, or gives information about the subject. Thus, I don't want to remain a shop assistant forever. Rachel's new outfit looked awesome, and Jim's idea seems the best solution, contain a subjective complement.
We are now considering the changing of a linking or sense verb for a transitive verb, one that requires a direct object to complete its meaning. My aunt named her dog Toby. In this sentence, Toby, that is in yellow, refers to her dog, that is in green, which is the object of the sentence. The same happens in the following sentence. Many people consider Harry Styles' Watermelon Sugar his most famous song. In yellow, the complement that describes the direct object, which is in green. And finally, as an idiomatic expression drives someone crazy, we have the mobile phone's vibration at night drives me crazy. Subject, verb, direct object, me, and complement, crazy. In this case, the complement is an objective complement.
Taking this into account, we will now make a comprehensive description of this pattern, beginning with its possible realizations in English, and continuing with those possibilities that are found in Spanish. In English, we have a total of 9 possible realizations, which we are going to list from letters A to I as follows. A. They asked him to go. NP stands for noun phrase, in this case, noun phrase which includes pronouns as subject. Asked as VP, which means verb phrase, transitive with complement. These are followed by a noun phrase as direct object, him, plus 2, plus a non-finite verb phrase, go, as a complement. B. He tried to go. Here we have the same structure, but we don't have a direct object. Thus, noun phrase as subject, verb phrase transitive with complement, plus 2, plus a non-finite verb phrase as a complement. C. They saw him going. Now we drop the to infinitive and replace it for an ing form of the verb phrase as complement. So, noun phrase as subject, verb phrase transitive with complement, noun phrase as direct object, and finally, an ing non-finite verb phrase as a complement.
She avoided going. Noun phrase as a subject, verb phrase transitive with complement, and ing non-finite verb phrase as a complement. In this case, we do not have a direct object. E. They saw him go. Noun phrase as a subject, verb phrase transitive with complement, noun phrase as a direct object, and a non-finite verb phrase as a complement. F. I believed her to be a teacher. Noun phrase as a subject, verb phrase transitive with complement, noun phrase as a direct object, optional to be, noun phrase as a complement. G. I believed her to be qualified. Subject, verb phrase transitive with complement, noun phrase as a direct object, optional to be, and an adjective as a complement.
H. We are going to leave. Noun phrase as subject, verb phrase intransitive, noun phrase as a direct object, optional to be, and a noun phrase as a complement. I. It is safe for us to go home. Noun phrase as subject, verb phrase with be, adjective, optional for, plus noun phrase, plus to, plus non-finite verb phrase as a complement.
Now we will look at the possible realizations of this pattern in Spanish. Some of them have 2, 3, or even 4 variations depending on the elements of the pattern. For instance, A. Ellas eligieron capitana a Mariela. We have noun phrase as a subject, verb phrase transitive with complement, noun phrase as a complement plus a plus noun phrase. A. Ellas la eligieron capitana. In this case, la refers to Mariela. Thus, noun phrase as a subject plus pronoun la plus verb phrase transitive with complement and noun phrase as a complement. B. Ellas consideraban capacitada a Mariela. Noun phrase as a subject, verb phrase transitive with complement, adjective as a complement plus a plus noun phrase as a direct object. B. Ellas la consideraban capacitada. Noun phrase as a subject, pronoun la again, verb phrase transitive with complement and adjective as a complement.
Here we have 3 variations of the same statement. C. Él vio a las chicas salir. Noun phrase as subject, verb phrase transitive with complement, plus a, plus noun phrase as direct object, plus intransitive verb phrase with a verb and infinitive as complement. C. Él vio salir a las chicas. Noun phrase as subject, verb phrase transitive with complement, intransitive verb phrase with a verb and infinitive as a complement, plus a, plus noun phrase as a direct object. C. Él las vio salir. Here, the pronoun las refers to chicas. Noun phrase as subject, pronoun, verb phrase transitive with complement, intransitive verb phrase with a verb and infinitive as the complement.
D. Yo escuché al hombre leer el libro. We have noun phrase as a subject, verb phrase transitive with complement, plus a, plus noun phrase as a direct object, plus transitive verb phrase with a verb in infinitive as a complement. D. Yo lo escuché leer. We have noun phrase as subject, pronoun lo as direct object, verb phrase transitive with complement, and transitive verb phrase with a verb in infinitive as a complement. D. Yo mandé al hombre a salir. We have noun phrase as subject, verb phrase transitive with complement, plus a, plus noun phrase as direct object and verb phrase infinitive as a complement. D. Yo le mandé salir. Noun phrase as subject, pronoun adverbial le, plus verb phrase transitive with complement and verb phrase infinitive as a complement.
E. Él vio a las chicas saliendo. Noun phrase as subject, verb phrase transitive with complement, plus a, plus noun phrase as direct object, plus verb phrase in the endo form, saliendo, as complement. E. Él las vio saliendo. Noun phrase as subject, pronoun las referring to chicas, verb phrase transitive with complement, plus verb phrase in the endo form as a complement. F. Ella quiere ir. Noun phrase as subject, verb phrase transitive with complement, and verb phrase infinitive as a complement. G. Ella tiene que ir al gimnasio. Noun phrase as subject, verb phrase intransitive as followed by relator plus infinitive, preposition or que, and verb phrase infinitive as a complement.
H. Yo voy a salir. Noun phrase as a subject, verb phrase intransitive plus relator a, and verb phrase infinitive as a complement. H. La gente anda sufriendo. Noun phrase as subject, verb phrase intransitive, and verb phrase in the endo form as a complement. Let us now make a comparison and contrast between the English and Spanish variations of the patterns. Number 1. In both languages there is a noun or noun phrase as a subject. In English we have I saw him running, and in Spanish, yo lo vi correr.
Number 2. In English, the verbal transitive complement is divided into 2 subclasses, complement plus to, as in he tried to go, and complement plus ing, as in she avoided going. Whereas in Spanish, there is one single large class of verbs with transitive complement that generally requires the indefinite as verb complement, such as in yo lo escuché cantar. But also, there is a small class which allows endo complement, verbs of persuasion which take a pronoun as an adverb of interest as direct object, and all the other verbs with transitive complement which take a pronoun replacing the direct object.
Number 3. The only relator allowed with verbal complements in English is to. To and ing have the function of nominalizing English verbs, as in she has to go to the gym. In Spanish, however, there is a subclass of transitive verbs that take lexically specified relators with their complement, as in tener que, acabar de, and so on. The indefinite is the nominal form of the verb, marked by R, as in ella tiene que ir al gimnasio.
Number 4. In English, the object of the verb with transitive complement is positionally just as it would be in a verb phrase transitive construction. In the case of Spanish, the object of the verb with transitive complement can be delayed until the verbal complement, unless its verb is transitive. In that case, the order is like the one in English.
Number 5. In English, the object of a verb with transitive complement is always interpreted as the subject of the verbal complement, as in I saw them shoot. On the other hand, in Spanish, the object of the verb with transitive complement may be interpreted as the object of the verbal complement, rather than the subject, only if the complement is a transitive verb without a subject separately expressed. In this instance, the verbal is taken as having an unexpressed subject, as in yo los vi a ellos fusilar.
There are some learning problems that we can take into account when comparing and contrasting these patterns. In the first place, English allows the complement construction with a set of verbs that Spanish does not allow. For instance, she told me to leave, she expected me to leave, she asked me to leave, and so on. In Spanish, we would have the transitive verb plus a que clause. The translation equivalent would be, for example, ella me dijo que me vaya.
Another one is that Spanish allows the complement constructions in a range of meanings that English does not allow, as in dijo estar segura and vi matarlos, compared to she said she was certain and I saw them shoot.
Finally, that Spanish distinguishes between various kinds of verbs of suasion, so that most of them take pronouns le or les, as in les rogó no salir. In English, she begged them not to leave. But two of the suasion verbs, hacer and dejar, take pronouns lo or los. In this case, los hizo salir, she made them leave, and los dejó salir, she let them leave.
So, this could be all by now. We hope it's been useful for you and that you've enjoyed the video.
See you next time. Bye!